Hello and welcome back to the channel, and today, after about 18 months nearly of no collection tour or any videos to be honest, I've decided to redo a collection tour. So this will be version 2, and quite a lot's changed since the last video. Previously I had a lot of Marvel figures, and they've all been replaced with Star Wars, so I'm solely focusing on Star Wars, and yeah, that's pretty much all you'll see. So on the first shelf we have Anakin flanked by 2.5 firsts. This is definitely a great setup to complete if you are able to get an Anakin. Obviously the 5.0 firsts are a very nice companion piece for him, but you'll unfortunately find that Anakin is a lot harder to come by for cheaper. I think he's probably about more than 2 times the price of each of these troopers, so it's a bit ridiculous, but again, if you're able to get him, definitely a good one to pick up. So next we have the Revenge of the Sith shelf, being Cody and Obi-Wan. So Cody I was lucky enough to pick up at retail because I pre-ordered him, and definitely one that's worth getting if you're able to find him. The detail and in the armour is really lovely, and Obi-Wan, I think it's a great head sculpt. A lot of people don't really like it, but you don't really have much choice for an Obi-Wan. In terms of, like, there's not really any other Obi-Wan figures unless you want to go back to a old sideshow piece, which I definitely don't. But yeah, I do like this head sculpt anyway. And I picked this one up probably about a year ago for close to retail, which was very nice. You know, he's definitely getting up there in price, so if you can find him, definitely get him. And moving on to the episode 2 shelf, so the only other figure that I had previously from the collection was Count Dooku, and he's got his companion piece of Yoda, and that's the episode 2 line complete so far, which is quite sad that there's only 2 figures in it. But Dooku's definitely still one of my favourite figures, probably because Dooku's my favourite Star Wars character, and yeah, he's really awesome. Yoda's brilliant too, but together they do look really great, and if you're able to get them for, you know, retail or close to retail, then I would definitely pick them up if you can. Dooku, I don't even know how much he's going for now, probably over 300 quid, but I still think, you know, if you get him for around 300, I think you've got still a decent price, because he is a fantastic figure. So moving on to the clone troopers, so here we have 2 shock troopers or Coruscant Guard, and I originally only planned to pick one up, and then I got one in, and then I wanted another, so that's how I ended up with 2 pretty much. And yeah, clone troopers obviously always look better in pairs or, you know, sets, so I couldn't really resist picking up 2, and the red is really very nice on these 2. I know there's some people that have had mismatching red colour. Mine both match, so I'm not sure if I will ever see that mismatch, because I don't plan to pick up any more, but I mean, I say that now, but who knows in the future. So let's move on to the Clone Wars section. So just moving on to the other Clone Wars section, here we have Rex flanked by 2 3/32 clones. Obviously when Ahsoka drops, she'll be going in there as well to complete the 3/32 line. But yeah, these are definitely, again, great figures. You've got 2 more 5 first troopers in different guise, and Rex is truly a phenomenal figure. I definitely recommend picking him up if you haven't. But yeah, the probably see a theme of clone troopers where I can't stick to one. I never planned to pick up 4 5.0 first, but you know, when you get one, you want more. So moving on to the Rogue One troopers, so In the middle is the Shore Trooper squad leader, and on his left is the Shore Trooper captain. And this is a pretty pricey figure now. If you can't afford the Shore Trooper captain, which is, completely understandable, it's way too expensive, then the Shore Trooper squad leader is definitely a good alternative. I do have some Shore Troopers, the standard versions, on the way. But yeah, the captain's my favourite because of the blue. I really like the blue and the yellow. I think he has the best colour scheme out of any, but probably the squad leader is the nicest to pose because of the fabric calmer rather than these rubber plates on the legs. So to their right, or to their left or our right, is the Imperial Stormtrooper from Rogue One. So this is the completely clean variant. You can see there's no scratches or scuff marks, and this one's awesome. He's pretty recent into the display. I know it makes more sense to just pick up the commander and remove the pauldron, which I'm doing anyway, but I really wanted a fully clean Rogue One version, and that obviously means you have to get the original, which is as well getting up there in price, but definitely a nice one to get if you can find one, because I think they look awesome with the Shore Troopers. Now moving on, we also have the Rogue One Vader, which in my opinion is the best Vader. I really like the pleats of the fabric on this Vader, and the A New Hope helmet design as opposed to Empire. And obviously for Rogue One it's a lot shinier than A New Hope, so definitely my favourite Vader. You have Emperor Palpatine, and again, he's fantastic. They always just nail old people head sculpts, and Palpatine's no exception. He's really fantastic. And next to them is a Death Trooper, and this is obviously the specialist version with the pauldron and the pouches and whatnot, and he's really good. I think I've always found the specialist a little bit bulky, but I guess that's the look he's meant to have. But yeah, definitely he's coming down in price quite a lot. I don't really know why, but yeah, and a really nice one to get if you can get him. So just moving on to the OT line, so here we have the episode 4 display. This isn't actually all of my episode 4 figures. I also have the Stormtrooper disguise versions of Luke and Han, but lack of space means I can't currently display them. I am upgrading to modular cases at some point, whenever they decide to make them and ship them, but God knows what that'll be. So yep, here we have Han, Chewie, Leia, R2 and Luke. I do mean to pick up the episode 4 Obi-Wan, obviously, and yeah, eventually he'll get displayed with these guys, and C-3PO. I need a 3PO. I keep holding out for Hot Toys to make one, but it just seems unlikely at this point, so I may need to get the Sideshow one. So moving on to the episode 5/6 shelf, so here we have Empire Boba. This is the 40th anniversary version, but I'll never change out the parts, so I'll just keep them as standard Boba. And Lando. Lando's a really good figure. He's one I never originally planned to pick up, but the cape's very frustrating, and the way it doesn't sit very nicely on the shoulders, but the head sculpt and the material choices otherwise are really nice, and you can pick it up for pretty dirt cheap at the moment, so definitely capitalise on that if you plan to get Lando. And then we have the Return of the Jedi Deluxe Stormtrooper, and to be honest, he's almost the reason why I'm on a bit of a Stormtrooper craze at the moment. I got him and really loved them, so then I went and picked up the Rogue One version and really loved him, so kind of army building Stormtroopers at the moment, which is not good on the wallet, but we all love Stormtroopers and variants, so yeah, he's definitely a good one to get if you can find him. And then here's the remaining episode 6 shelf, so Endor Leia and Endor Luke. Again, two figures I never planned to pick up, but I got Endor Luke, and he's really awesome. He's a lot better than I actually thought he would be. I liked the head sculpt a lot more than I thought I would. And in the pictures and that, I didn't like the open mouth, but in person it's really not that bad. And then obviously he needs a companion piece in Leia, and you know, she's really, really awesome. I never planned to pick up Wicket, so that's why I just got the standard version of Leia. But yeah, let's move on to the Mandalorian shelf. So here we have the final part of the display being the Mandalorian section. And here we have Mando Deluxe with Grogu and the Remnant Stormtrooper. He's actually one that's been in and out of my collection for a few times, but he's pretty much here to stay now. And that Mando, I don't know if I'm going to replace him with the Chrome version. I definitely plan to pick up the Chrome version, but I don't know if I'll sell him. We shall see. More troopers, so here we have the Incinerator Stormtrooper, which is again one that's kind of been in and out of my display for a couple of times, but I decided to finally pick him up and store him here because he's got the other yellow version, the Artillery Trooper, to go with him. And here we have the Stormtrooper Commander, or Squad Leader it's now called. So again, a really great version of the Rogue One Stormtrooper. He has very nice subtle weathering all throughout him, especially on the legs. I really do like it on the legs, except he has a very weird line on the helmet, so if you want to take the pauldron off and have a normal Stormtrooper, they're all going to have that strange line, but that doesn't bother me too much because from like this kind of distance you can't really see the line. And then finally we have the Durasteel version of Mando, and this was one of my sort of first major Star Wars purchases since Dooku in 2020, so he sort of kick-started the Star Wars bug, if it were. So yeah, that's pretty much the display. There are a couple of figures you can't see right now, being a Sand Trooper, as I said, Luke and Han in Stormtrooper disguise, Krennic, K2, and Death Star Gunner. So they're currently in storage because I just don't have space at the moment. And when the module cases come, then everything will be able to be in a nice open display instead of this cramped corner cabinet layout. But thanks very much for watching. Please leave your comments and any tips you may have, and thanks very much for watching.